welcome back to the adventure in Southport, UK, returning to St. Marie's with its impressive wheel window, as Chapter 3 of Episode 2 will suggest its meaning.
So does anyone know what that symbol is? What that is a symbol of the flower of life, an aspect of the flower of life. This is sacred geometry. What is sacred geometry? So the book I'm going to use to explain the flower of life is by Drumvlo Melchizedek. This is the flower of life. That is the symbol. You can see there's lots of circles within circles. All over the world this pattern exists. Basically all of creation is designed from this geometrical pattern. So there's this idea of creation. This is the philosophy behind it, the idea that creation is formed through circles. You get one circle, another circle.
As they multiply, they follow this mathematical pattern, which develops in sacred harmony to each new circle.
5 circles. We develop further until we have a full pattern, which is known as the seed of life. It gets a lot more complex.
It does seem this sacred geometrical flower of life is used as the design for the wheel window. What do you think? Leave comments or questions below.
It's very interesting to see it on the side of the church because there's just very few places in local areas and neighborhoods and cities and suburbs and that hold the symbol of the flower of life. The symbol to represent what is the geometrical pattern that is the foundation of creation. So there you can see on the windows as well as also this expression of
sacred geometry, as one can clearly see the circle shapes within circles here, as this window pattern suggests something a bit deeper.
At it more in a third-dimensional perspective.
Could I be wrong in thinking this pattern is expressing this three-dimensional shape of the 7 circles, completing the Genesis pattern? But then the right-hand lancet window has only 5 circle shapes, with the larger windows beneath the smaller window. Intentionally different or not, but still derived from the middle flower of life pattern.
As you can see, the architecture is somewhat different to the buildings around it, and we'll see if I can get more from other churches in the area.
Jumping across town to St. George's Church on Lord Street, with its tall steeple that emulates the nearby monument, one could be forgiven for reading too deeply into the symbolic gestures of many landmarks on this street, but none hold quite as many hieroglyphs and nuances as this tall steeple of 13th century Gothic architecture style.
So this is St. George's Church, and this is on Lord Street, and I am fascinated with this church just because of the architecture, and you can see some of the designs are really quite unique. I love these archways. There's a rose here, and it's like a block, and then there's these pillars and like leaves, so is it Roman or Greek? For now, looking at what is actually within the structure itself. Oh, once again, look at this. You can see 3 circles, a form of a Trinity. The most significant thing is their very tall steeple.
Built in 1873 to 74, this church's steeple is a 3-stage tower with a tall brooch spire. But the triangle design over the door is known as a tympanum, a well-known feature of many religious buildings.
Triangles. There's 3 triangles there in the door arch with the doorway. Those are the top, so there's 3 of them. 1 triangle there, 2 facing down. So there's 6 petals of the flower of life, or 6 circles. Is it flowers? Is it energy? What is it? And then there's like these edgings along the top of the pyramid on many steeples. Okay, not this one, but it's on some steeples. You'll see that edging, that like curving waves. And I got a feeling that it's got something to do with energy, like an antenna aspect of things. So my research at the moment is in earth energies, and what I've noticed in the research, in the reading, especially from John Michell in a book,
The New View Over Atlantis, published in 1969, a thorough investigation into the alignments of prehistoric sites and natural landmarks.
It talks about how a lot of these churches are built on former pagan sites, but the suggestion as to why is because they're built on earth energy areas, whether they're energy lines or just something significant about the energy itself. And so a page from the book shows a map of Cambridge with an alignment of 7 churches along this ley line. And so this ley is the dark line, and the churches you can see are all circled. A lot of banks are built on this as well, apparently, but the research is mostly at the moment where a lot of churches are built on former pagan sites, have something to do with the energy.
Now, this is where I would like to highlight this specific reference from the Office of Tree Spirits, where I usually do my research. The New View over Atlantis by Michell presents so many explanations of the energy lines being utilized by the ancient native people of the land, and with so many pages in this book that could offer credibility and support for my perspective on these churches, there's only one page I wish to really highlight right here. Chapter 3, page 93, Earth Spirit. The practice of locating sacred centers in accordance with the flow of terrestrial magnetic current was not confined to prehistoric times, for it appears that every Christian church was similarly sited. The orientation of a church with its dimensions and architectural plan was determined by the lines of the current, of which the strongest spring is located directly beneath the tower. At this point, the celestial influence is attracted by the spire combined with the terrestrial forces to produce fusion. Phew, thought I was gonna pop. But basically that means that the towers or the church spires themselves were actually located over the strongest point of the energy line that the church is built on.
These steeples, they go high up into the sky. Are they built for reasons that, showing a authority of some kind, or just reaching to the skies, reaching to the heavens, reaching to God? That's what I've always thought the steeples were about. But I'm now open to the idea that maybe these steeples are actually got a lot to do with energy flow.
Are we looking at an ancient antenna of some kind, or just a symbol of religion? Leave your thoughts in the comment section, please.
This is where the path is leading from my questions.
So from this aerial view, one can see 2 other churches aligned from St. George's. Let's have a look for any similarities. First, we will investigate the magnificent Holy Trinity Church. Originally from a different part of Southport, this grandiose architectural design was first built in the location in 1836, but the huge clock tower and other extensions came after, and it wasn't until 1913 that the full body of this impressive building was complete.
Okay, so here we are at Holy Trinity Church of England. You can see just above the clock an arch that's got a motif that's very sacred geometry.
Seen in the close-up just under the arch, another pattern from the Flower of Life.
It's coming from circles. The design is obtained from circles within circles. So if I just freeze the frame just to make it easier and show you that this is a circle here and this is a circle here, so circles within circles. There's also another circle here and here. So the pattern itself is
from the Flower of Life.
Just below the clock, there's looks like these petals sort of shaped in a line.
And so just below the clock you can see these petal-looking shapes, a common feature in sacred geometry.
And so just freezing the screen again, just so we can highlight the circle we can see here, and another circle here. And it's this pattern in between that I want to focus on. Those are actually the in-between of circles crossing. It's called the Vesica Piscis. Can never pronounce that name properly.
The Vesica Piscis is a mathematical shape formed by the intersection of 2 discs with the same radius intersecting in such a way that the center of each disc lies on the perimeter of the other. And as you can see, the chalice well in Glastonbury expresses this pattern.
This shape, which looks like a circle, and another half of the circle, and they're crossing over this pattern between. That area in between the 2 circles where the next circle is created from. Basically the symbol of creation. The designs, the patterns that we're looking at are very sacred geometry.
The Holy Trinity architectural style is known as decorative Gothic, developed around the 13th and 14th century in England. Elaborate decoration which seems influenced from the Flower of Life.
I'm really focused on the exterior designs. There's patterns within oval patterns within an oval, and they kind of fit within the arch. But it's definitely a reference to sacred geometry. As much as what I've tried to learn from sacred geometry, it's a very difficult subject. I'm not very maths orientated, but I do recognize patterns and symbols and signs. The curving of the circle is very feminine, and it fits within an arch, which is kind of a curvature as well. And I can see them, the circles within circles, similar to the other churches, above all of these windows, and within the symbol just above the clock face itself. Okay, coming into the church of Trinity Church itself. This doorway. This is the entrance. This is fantastic. So we've got two lines. Oh wait, you've got a lion here, an angel over there. Two lines on the door as well. We've got a crown here, 1913. On the top with a kind of pointing design. The motifs that are all around the arch itself, what is that? Is it fire?
And so those very intricate squiggles seen here, is that fire or energy? Is this the same intricate design motif that we're seeing here? And is it just a decorative aesthetic, or is it a direct reference to the electromagnetic energy I mentioned earlier?
Looks like a plant growing. You can see it's like leaves. It's a specific symbol. Very, very specific symbol. There's like plants or leaves here. There's a harp, definitely a man. There's more symbols up there. Very, very intricate to those who have the eyes to see, so to speak. All this design above the archway. Now, this is amazing. You don't see this on any doors anymore. There's no other buildings that have these kind of designs apart from the churches, cathedrals, and I find them just absolutely fascinating. Like it's as if it's meant to leave a clue of some kind. As you can see, the architecture is very flamboyant within the windows. What is that at the top there? What is that? Is that a goggle? It's like an eagle or a griffin.
In Christianity, the griffin is the symbol of the Jesus Christ.
There is.
But the symbol underneath the griffin, this is the most interesting symbol I've seen on the whole church. Now, to many people, that will look like the Star of David, but there's a much, much deeper meaning to this. Leave a comment and see if it's right in the next chapter.
I wonder if anyone knows what that means when they look at it.